So, welcome back. Let us continue from where we stopped on the disadvantages of having a spiritual spouse. What I mean by the disadvantages of having a spiritual spouse is not that it is something that you have a choice to choose, like maybe having a spiritual spouse or not. That's what I mean. That's not what I mean. What I mean is, if you are not in good terms with your spiritual spouse, what is going to happen, or what are the things that you will be experiencing as someone who has a spiritual spouse. These are the things that we are discussing right now. I'm saying this so that you can have a better understanding of what it means to have a disadvantage of a spiritual spouse. Spiritual spouse is not something you can stay away from, or I mean somebody, a spirit rather, that you can stay away from. So the first disadvantages that we will be talking about today is having difficulty in relationship. Having difficulty in relationship. Um, if you're not in good terms with your spiritual spouse, you would notice things like, you losing interest in having a relationship with someone. Maybe you're a guy, you've been asking this girl out, and then I mean you're a guy, you've been liking a girl, and then it is time for you to ask this person out, and then you just suddenly lose interest. Or you're a girl, you're somebody that you've been crushing on this guy for a long time, having this feeling like, this person should just ask me out. And then the day he asks you out, you just find out that you already lost interest in this person. These things can happen. And also, it is very difficult for someone to satisfy you, whether physically, whether spiritually, even as a married couple. Your husband, you just suddenly lose interest in your husband, being able to satisfy you on bed. It is very hard for you to get satisfied physically, spiritually. Your relationship does not last. Also, you experience that your relationship does not last, no matter how good that person is to you. You just find out that something will just scatter it or spoil it for you. Especially when the person is proposing to marry you. There are some women like that. Or a man, whenever he's proposing to marry a woman, you just find out that things will just spoil. Things will not just work. These ones, they have jealous spiritual husband. They have a very strong spirit following them. And when you're not a good thing with your spiritual husband or your spiritual wife, you will experience such things. And then these things keep repeating itself over and over again. It is a pattern that you've noticed that it happens to you. I'm talking to people that, even to people that do not know that they have spiritual spouse, it happens to you. And then you just notice that this thing keeps happening and happening. This man, you like this man, you like this woman. But what is happening? You don't really understand. All of a sudden, things will just scatter. Things will not just work. Some people, it is when they get into that marriage, things will not just work out. And some people, it is after their marriage, you just discover that you don't have a child, or it is very difficult. You've gone medically to check what the problem is, like to know if there's any issue. There's no issue. You're fine, your husband is fine. Just find out that things like that happen. Or it is the time when you want to have sex with this your spouse or your partner. That is when issues will begin to happen. Little things will begin to cause issues and problem. Before you know, you divorce, you're not together anymore. So you not being in good terms with your spiritual spouse can cause a lot of things. Another point I want to talk about is emotional connection. The emotional connection you have with that person or with anyone will be disconnected. One minute you're fine, the next minute you're not fine. One minute you're in love, the next minute you're not in love. Things like this can, cause problems for you like that. It will make you to not understand yourself. Some will even go to the length of you just find out that you go to some churches. You're not even supposed to go in the first place to say, please separate me from this spiritual spouse. So I know I have a spiritual spouse, separate me from this person. Or they will say they can separate you, or they will say they can cast and bind. After doing all those things, once you do it and come back, they will be waiting for you. They are not in the water, they are not somewhere hanging. They are around you. They are walking with you behind you. They are with you. You will notice that for some time it will be like this spirit is not disturbing you again. Before you know it, you start experiencing that same issue again. It is when you want to do good thing or you want to be with somebody that will help you, that is when you begin to experience all these things. They are calling for your attention. These are the disadvantages. When you're not in good terms with them, these are the things you will be experiencing. Another point I want to talk about again is um your dreams will be draining you. Your dreams will be draining you. You will just begin to see that you are moving, you are active in your dream, you are moving, but you are not really understanding what is happening. And sometimes you end up seeing yourself that you are having sex. As a woman, when you wake up, you see that you're wet. Or as a man, when you wake up, you see sperm all over you. Before you know it, you go for a contract or you want to do some type of business, then you begin to experience blockages, you begin to experience problems, you begin to read these patterns and see that whenever you have sex in your dream, you begin to experience all these things. It is because you are not in good terms with your spiritual spouse. That is why it is happening. That's why I said in every advantages there are disadvantages. I recommended a little ritual for people that are in good terms with their spiritual spouse about the Fanta and candle thing. If you're not in good terms with your spiritual spouse, you've not done your appeasement, you've not gone for consultation, settlement, or negotiation, that ritual will not work for you. So you have to actually be on the same page with that spirit before you can be taking advantage of those things. Another point is delay in your life. You'll be experiencing delay in your life. You'll be experiencing blockages in the things you do. If you're somebody that before you met that man or that woman, you used to have money, all those things will stop until you leave that relationship or that marriage. You will not have life. Nothing good will come out of it. You will not have good thing. You will not have good life. Things will be going backward for you. Delays will happen to you in life. The wrong partners will come your way. The wrong people will always present themselves in your way. But if you notice that you're someone that when you're on your own, things work out for you and good for you, try and be in good terms with your spiritual partner. And all these things that I'm even mentioning, sometimes it is not spiritual partner, so don't get me wrong, but I'm focusing on the advantages and the disadvantages. Sometimes it could be that emotional experience can cause it. Sometimes life happens. Sometimes it could be your mental state. Sometimes it could be your past relationship that is reflecting on your present relationship or that fear. So I'm just trying to concentrate on the disadvantages and the advantages of having a spiritual partner. If you're in good terms with them, this is what will happen, this is what will not happen. So the focus here is for you to be in good terms with them. They cannot be chased away. The only spirit that can be chased away are spirits that roam around that maybe they took advantage of you being vulnerable or doing something that your forces does not want you to do. But if you're someone that has a spiritual partner, try to be in good terms with them. Do go for consultation, a proper one. Ask questions. Know what they want. If it is appeasement, if it is appeasement they're asking for, do your appeasement. If it is settlement, do your settlement. If it is negotiation when it comes to marriage matters and issues, have a conversation with them. Have an agreement of the time you'll be coming to drop offerings for them. And if you are the type that your spiritual partner wants you to create a space, maybe in your altar or somewhere in your house for them, so you can be having conversation and communication with them. Do that. And there are some spiritual husbands or wife that will still be manifesting through your partner so that they can bless you. You cannot cast and bind them. You cannot chase them off. You cannot chase them away. They are part of you. You are a masculine energy with a feminine side, and you are also a feminine side with a masculine energy around you. You had this agreement before you existed. If you want to be on the good advantage side, then do the right thing. If you want to be on the disadvantage side, then leave it. Don't do it. Be going to church, from church to cast and bind. At the end of the day, you come back home and make your problem. But if you want to be free, not free like you will not have time for them. Or what I meant by free is have a peace of mind. Do the rightful things. Do the needful things that you need to do. And I pray and hope that you understand me. God bless you and have a good day.